How do you top your love for your cat? With a cascade of decadent savory gravy over a mouth-watering mousse pâté. Fancy Feast gems. 2 gourmet pâtés in one convenient pack. Simply peel and plate to reveal a pyramid shape that makes eating delightful and pamper her with an experience as extraordinary as she is. Turn the everyday into the extraordinary with Fancy Feast gems.
Finished training for the day? Time to fight post-workout fatigue with Core Power Protein Shakes. They're packed with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle and electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to help your body replenish, rebuild, and repair post-workout so you can power on to the next one. Champion your recovery with Core Power. Visit corepower.com to learn more.
Hey, the vibes are slipping. I think it's time to bring out the Velveeta shells and cheese. The holidays are a time to go all in on indulgence. Headline your meals with the rich, creamy meltiness of Velveeta shells and cheese and satisfy your holiday cravings like no other. Bring that main course energy to your side dish. Celebrate extra with Velveeta these holidays.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
Do you like being educated on things that entertain but don't matter? Well, then you need to be listening to the podcast with Knox and Jamie. Every Wednesday, we put together an episode dedicated to delightful idiocy to give your brain a break from all the serious and important stuff.
Whether we're deep diving a classic movie, dissecting the true meanings behind the newest slang, or dunking on our own listeners for their bad takes or cringy stories, we always approach our topics with humor and just a little bit of side-eye, and we end every episode with recommendations on all the best new movies, books, TV shows, or music.
To find out more, just search up the podcast with Knox and Jamie wherever you listen to podcasts and prepare to make Wednesday your new favorite day of the week.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.
You guys, welcome to another episode of What's Your Issue? My name is Troy McEady.
And I'm Darlene Sussman.
Dara, first of all, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, you know? I'm alive. I'm watered. I'm coffeeed. I'm ready to go. How are you?
Alexa, play I'm Alive by Celine Dion. I'm good. I have 2 vanilla lattes in front of me.
2?
Yeah, I double order now. Isn't that fucked up?
Troy, I'm sorry. Podcast canceled because I need to spend at least an hour drilling down on this. Go on. Say more.
Well,
wow.
Yeah, the coffee place that I go to is next door to my apartment, and it's like it's the most New York thing that I feel like I experience every day because they know my order.
Of course, love that.
Yeah, so I walk in and it's like these 2 really hot brothers that own this place. They're Greek, and they're like they'll be like vanilla latte, extra sweet. Like the minute I walk in, or they'll be like iced or cold today, baby, iced or cold, and I'll be like, or you know what I mean, hello, iced or hot, and sometimes they'll be like, you want 1 or 2, and sometimes I just go for it. I just, as Celine would say, go for it.
Wow. I mean, I would love a world where you go in, order 1 from one brother, one hot brother, do a walk around the block, and then order from the other. Yeah. But wow, okay, that's so interesting. And sometimes they just offer up 2.
Yeah, sometimes they just give me 2, which is nice because will I want another coffee when I'm done with this one? Yeah, I know myself. Unless I have jitters, I don't feel like I've had enough.
I guess it's sort of similar to the like a nice little surprise, like when you order a smoothie and they give you the runoff in another glass. Like that is ooh.
Or like if you get a martini and they're like, this was the extra or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the best.
You know that you're dealing with a good person when they give you the runoff.
Like a person that you should build a relationship with.
Yes, sexually or platonically.
Exactly. And if those 2 brothers are listening, I'm down for whatever.
So do they charge you for 2? Like, is it sometimes they just throw in a second?
Well, this started because sometimes I will just ask for 2 because I don't want to like go back and get another one in like 40 minutes.
That would be humiliating.
That would be really embarrassing. So sometimes, so like now they like will specify, and sometimes they do just give me the other one for free if it's like a good day.
Wow, they want to fuck you.
That's what I think as well. They're after my tail.
Wow, Troy. I mean, just getting it all over town. We love to see it.
New York City's whore.
The Carrie Bradshaw of our time.
Exactly.
Well, Troy, should I just jump right into it and ask you the sacred question?
Please.
Troy McKeady, what's your issue?
Well, Dara, my issue is the September 1999 issue of TV Guide featuring none other than Cher, who at this moment is like about to release her, I mean, what would you even, like, how would you even describe 1999 Cher?
I guess they sort of talk about it in her cover story. I get not necessarily about it, but just how at this point in time she's like kind of getting the club kids interested in her music because of the album that she did. Like, but that whole album was a little more like dance focused. So I feel as though she's very, yeah, there's sort of like a 90s cappuccino lip of, you know, she would always have like the sparkles in her hair, like little
the tinsel.
And the tinsel. Yeah, it was a reinvention of herself into more of like a hip, almost pop girly. I mean, I suppose she was the Charlie of our time.
No, literally, I mean, that song is credited for all of our modern day auto-tune hits. Like, at that time, her using auto-tune in that song, like, honestly changed the next, like, 25, 30 years of music, which is really crazy to think about. Because we wouldn't I mean, yeah, Charlie XCX, Blackout, there'd be so many albums that wouldn't sound the way that they sound had Cher not released Believe.
Yes, Believe. Duh. I did not think.
What'd you call it?
I was like, that album.
Well, we're gonna get into it. And also, I mean, we haven't done TV Guide on the show yet, and I just feel like we have to just have a quick little combo about the culture of fucking TV Guide, like an institution that no longer exists.
Well, when you sent me this PDF, when you sent me this issue, I was for a brief moment, I was like, oh, okay. I was excited to see Cher on the cover, but I was a little bit like, okay, I guess we're just going to be going through little blurbs of TV shows and whatever. But then I got into it, and I totally forgot about how much of a magazine TV Guide was to a degree. Like it was real reading material. I feel like it was very much bathroom reading material. It's just like a nice size to just leave next to the toilet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm being too raw and real right now.
We've never heard this side of you.
Also, maybe this was just my house, but it just felt like TV Guide was also a bathroom read, you know, planning what you're going to watch for the rest of the night. Yeah, it's such a quaint magazine because it was fashion and function, you know? You had your articles, reviews, all of those things like in Entertainment Weekly, but you also had the logistical, when is your show going to be on?
Right.
What special episode is going to be on? It's so quaint.
It's quaint, and it's also so fascinating because I feel like, so like obviously TV Guide had a whole history before we were like kids, right? Like It's been around for so long, and I feel like by the time the 90s rolled around in the early 2000s, like TV Guide used to be like fully a functional magazine. Like it was like, this literally is the TV Guide. Like it was a very common thing to have the TV Guide like on your coffee table next to the remote.
Coffee table, shitter, what have you.
Like you literally had to read it to know what was on TV, because there was, believe it or not, there was even a time before there was a guide on TV, which even that now is like so antiquated, but
Well, in the
Like,
TV Guide channel, it would just scroll. So you would
yeah.
have to wait for, like, if you were like, oh, what time is the show on this particular network? It was like, oh no, I just missed it. I have to
Yeah.
wait until they scroll back around.
Yeah, you're like, MTV is 34 and now they're at 39 and I just missed it and I have to wait 40 minutes.
The TV Guide channel, I feel like, was very similar to, like, in the back of a cab, the little
Yeah.
channels that you have.
Yes. Where it's like a little trivia in between.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm so New York.
Reminds me of hailing a cab in your Manolo Blahniks. Hello, homosexual. But no, and I think what's so interesting about this magazine is, like, by the time we were kids, it like shifted. Like, I definitely feel like there was more of an emphasis when back in the day on like the function, and then they started to lean more into pop culture.
Yeah.
Like, Christina Aguilera has like a weird interview in this. Like, there's it did change because like the need to have a booklet of television shows was like not as necessary.
Yeah.
But it still kind of was. And this issue I think fits perfectly in between like that time period.
Yeah. Yeah, we're now, the internet is really becoming more ubiquitous, so you can sort of look things up, but then there's also the older generation who aren't necessarily savvy on that or still want to have, you know, a paper guide in their hand.
Right. Yeah, it reminds me of like, it's just one of those American institutions that dies and there's no ceremony for it. Like, nobody's thinking about it. Nobody even realizes that it's not a part of their lives anymore. But it was a staple. It was kind of like, it reminded me when I was reading it of when you'd have to open the newspaper to like look for movie times.
Oh.
And then that changed and nobody really thought about it. We were just like, there was no ceremony for the fact that we weren't using the newspaper anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and today we are going to give ceremony and give reverence to the TV Guide.
We're holding space.
We are holding space, and we salute you.
We salute you, TV Guide. So I guess, yeah, should we get into it?
Let's get into it, baby.
So as you would expect, TV Guide doesn't really have letters to the editor. It's not that kind of magazine.
No, because realistically, that would be too difficult because they're putting these out quick, weekly basis, quick turnaround.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, this is like a several times a week magazine, probably. Yeah. Our first, I guess if you want to call it, moment, and this is a weird magazine. Like, I'm going to be honest, like, TV Guide's articles are very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
The first one being on page 10. So this is the review page by Matt Roush. The Roush Review. And I only bring this up because, so he's talking about Sex and the City and how there's been one season so far. And he's like talking about how it grew on him as if he's the fucking target audience, but let's not even get into that. He's like, you know, the first season was fine, but he says, I thought that them talking to the camera, like, it felt pretentious. And he talks about how in the second season, it seems like they're not taking themselves as seriously. And I wanted to ask you, because I've had so many conversations about this with people, what are your thoughts on the in-person talking to the camera season 1 of Sex and the City? Because it's like definitive of the first season. Well,
Troy, I want to thank you for asking me that question. And I also want to say thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk about Sex and the City, which I'll be shocked if we get anywhere else in this episode.
Literally.
This is how I feel about it. I somewhat recently did a complete series rewatch. And I will say this. I think the first season, people give the first season a lot of shit. And yes, it does feel completely different from the rest of the series. However, I don't mind the talking to the camera. I think the whole season, the way it's all put together, it feels very, dare I say, Woody Allen movie-esque.
Yeah.
But I like it, and I do think it's its own. If they had kept going with the talking to the camera, maybe the show wouldn't have done as well because I guess it was just very jarring for people.
Mm-hmm.
But when you watch it in hindsight, it doesn't bother me. I think it's kind of cute actually. And I like the opportunity to comment on a scene within it. And I'm thinking perhaps maybe the reason why people really didn't like it and it was so jarring and it wouldn't be today is that they're like, I can't think of any other TV shows that really did that. Like there was C'est pas la belle, when occasionally Zach would look at the camera and talk. But, you know, we hadn't had a TV show like The Office or Parks and Rec where you also were getting these asides straight to camera. So it might have just confused people. But I'm fine with it. I like what the show turned into, of course. And I definitely think it's better than the first season, but I still don't mind it. And I think it's its own cute little thing.
I'm glad that I honestly never know what people are going to say when I ask them this, but like, I like it too. And I think it's really, so I watched a YouTube, like think piece about Sex and the City the other day. I wish I could remember the girl's name, but basically her video was about how having the point of the video was that like people who watch this show in modern day and will say like, maturing is realizing that Carrie Bradshaw was a villain.
Ugh.
It is the most bottom of the barrel.
Yes.
It's the worst take.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite possibly the worst take of the entire show. If that's how you feel watching that show, you're literally watching it wrong.
Yes.
And you're not, and also you don't have an original idea. Every person that says that think they're fucking chiseling away at the last parts of the first ever wheel. You are not original in your thoughts if that's how you feel. And she talked about how in the first season, like they really made it feel like, you know, the show went on to like where like New York was kind of like the fifth Sex and the City girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like the first season, they tried to make us feel like we were the fifth Sex and the City girl, like we were a part of it. And she brought up a really good point that on HBO at that time, the shows that were really popular and that this show was being compared to were Real Sex, Taxi Cab Confessions.
Yes.
And those shows did on the street interviews about sex.
Yes. Oh
right?
My God. I never thought about that.
Neither did I. So it makes complete sense that they were like, let's merge those two things. Like people are already going to compare these shows because it's on right after Atlantic City Hookers. So we may as well lean in. And I don't know. I kind of miss it. I think it was really cool.
I really liked it, and I also just love doing a full rewatch of the show, which I think if you're a person who has any appreciation for the show, but you've never just watched it one after the other,
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend doing a full rewatch because it's so interesting to see how the show changes and grows into itself, because shows today don't get that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
To grow and to change and to figure out what they are. And this really got that opportunity. And I think every season has its own little charm.
Right.
Oh, but I did see like literally yesterday or the day before, someone, I think it might have been the Taylor Lorenz Instagram or something. It was like someone's tweet. It was something like, do not talk about how Carrie Bradshaw is the worst and blah, blah, blah. Like, you are Carrie Bradshaw. If you think that you are not an annoying little bitch, you're wrong. It was like, something like that. It's like, yes, I'm sorry. You're probably a little brat. We all are. For
sure. That's the point. And like, it almost feels like because we had so few options for flawed women on TV, like we got it. When the show was like, obviously we were like kids, but women watching that show when it came out understood how cool it was to see a woman who like isn't great with money, isn't the best with relationships, kind of teeters back and forth on being a good friend and a selfish friend, a human being. That's the point. Like, and it's so easy in, 2025 to be some like 22-year-old girl being like, actually, she's annoying. It's like, yeah, it's easy to think that when you have a whole plethora of women on TV that can exist because of her.
Yes.
But like, that was not, it was very, 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 very crazy to see a woman on TV who like was openly not perfect and like the lead of the show who made mistakes and sometimes didn't correct them.
I do wonder, because just thinking of the people that the younger gals today who watch Sex and the City and this is problematic. Like, she sucks. Like, how does anybody watch this? She's not a good friend. And like, they don't date any Black people. It's like, yes, like there's a lot of problematic aspects of this show. And I think you'd be hard pressed to find a millennial or Gen Xer that doesn't also realize that, but can sort of appreciate it regardless. However, I do wonder, if you do a full rewatch as a Gen Z person who did not grow up with it, who doesn't have that sort of attachment, will they then see what we saw in Carrie Bradshaw, and like understand how, yes, she could be a brat, but she was also outrageously charming and just had a je ne sais quoi. Like, would they see that, or is this purely, it just hit us at the right time, and because we had never had characters like her, it made a bigger impact, but it doesn't have the same effect on them because they have all these other like women in media to choose from?
No, I don't think, like, I do think that the time period had so much to do with it and the limited options. And I do think that all those things are true about her, but I think it's not as novel to see it now. Like, it doesn't have the impact to, even just hearing them talk about sex. Like,
it sounds so stupid now.
Yeah. And now it just sounds like kind of goofy and silly. Whereas back then it was so tawdry. Like, it was like, oh my God, my ice cream is melting because this is so hot. Like, it was literally insane, you know? So it's like, and then even with like the way that it has aged, like, I only ever see people mention that about Sex and the City, but never any other shows on HBO. Like, do you think Entourage aged perfectly?
Yeah. You know what it is? I do feel as if it's a younger generation. No offense, you guys. I'm not a person who's like Gen Z. But I do feel like there's a certain type of Gen Z person or younger person in general who won't let millennials just like what they like, or Gen Xers like what they like, and just understand what it meant for us in the moment. And it's just like, yeah, I know that it feels stupid to you, but at the time, there was literally no women talking about this. Like, why do we have to nail this show that was actually quite revolutionary? And I'm sorry, if you do a rewatch, filmmaking wise, storytelling wise, it completely holds up. Yes, some problematic aspects, of course, do not. Like, we would never have a show today like this that talks about bisexuality as a layover to Gay Town. Like, sure,
but that was our culture.
That was our culture.
That's what we thought.
That's what we thought. And now that we've moved past that, great. That part doesn't age well. But from purely a storytelling, filmmaking standpoint, writing, I'm sorry, it's still funny. It's still good. You still fall in love with these women and root for them. Sorry, this is not the show to be hammering, in my humble opinion.
I agree. I just don't. I think like it's a show that's really easy to attach yourself to and be like, I have a hot take about this. Like, it's a show that's very easy to feel like you are an Entertainment Weekly writer after you watch. But I promise you, your take is probably not hot and it's probably not original. And if your entire take of the series is that Carrie was a problem and that she was the worst friend, like, you've watched the entire show wrong, and I feel bad for you.
Exactly. Also, I'd love to know if you've watched the entire show.
Right.
Or if you've just seen a few things on E and like maybe watched a couple video essays and formed your opinion. Like, I'm sorry, also the fashion holds up in my opinion as something that's really fun and innovative. And, you know, like, oh my God, a Carrie dresses like that to go to the store. Yes.
Which was another thing that like was so wild for people to kind of wrap their heads around, that this woman who is on paper sexy, she's short, she's got a great body, she's like a little spinner, like she's magnetic, she's charming, but she doesn't dress for men.
Exactly.
And to see a lead female character on a show that revolves around being sexy and sex and men and fucking and whatever, and have the lead do things like put a belt on her stomach, it is so mind-bending for the time. And like all of these girls who think that they're like fashion girls that are like walking around New York all wearing the same Adidas and the same skirt and the same boxers as shorts and like
Yes.
whatever. Like, you have the freedom to do that because of this show. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely. All of the little Y2K fashion things people are attributing to maybe like Lindsay Lohan and Paris and stuff. No. What you guys are actually wearing is Carrie Bradshaw.
yeah, that's a Pat Fields original, babe.
Okay.
I mean, the people that have the critiques, I'm like I saw a girl the other day talking about the show and she was like, I'm sorry, but I just can't take Carrie Bradshaw seriously. Like, she's having financial issues and she's buying $4,000 pairs of shoes. Who amongst us has the whole point of luxury is that it's like catered for people who can't afford it.
Exactly.
They're not really catering to like actual wealthy people. They're catering to us, people who live paycheck to paycheck that will save 2 months to buy something from their stupid store. Like, that is life. That's real life. Like, what are you talking about?
Also, I'm sorry, I don't want to be friends with the type of person who looks at a piece of media like that and goes, she's fiscally responsible and I just can't watch a TV show like that. Go read a book then.
Yes, and understand that the world is not an algorithm. Not everything needs to align with you. It's okay to watch things and be like, oh, that's a person who's doing everything the opposite of how I would do it. And that's fine.
I think a lot of people don't know how to watch stuff if they are not like, this is how I would do things. And this
I
character
agree.
is perfectly reflecting that back to me.
I 100% agree. This sounds insane. And we can move on from Sex and the City after this, I swear. I knew it was going to turn into this. But, you know.
I was preparing. Troy, it's all I want to talk about sometimes. And sometimes I don't get to. And I need to.
I know. And like, especially after a rewatch, like, you're just ravenous to talk about it.
Oh.
But like, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people don't watch TV correctly anymore. I don't know if that has to do with like the amount of reality TV that we watch and like the need to like immediately pick a character that you align with and like ride it to the end with them or whatever. Or like like I said, like,
I think it's the
algorithms.
algorithm. What you said, I think it's the algorithm and it's the algorithm flattening culture.
Like nuance.
I think it's the way we are becoming more and more of an individualist culture, and we're becoming more and more like lonely
Like
and
narcissistic?
secluded. Where,
okay.
Where we maybe like are meeting less people and meeting less personalities. So it's like, sure, you might not be able to identify with Carrie Bradshaw, but maybe you have a bunch of friends, like a handful of friends that are like her, and that's your way into her character.
No, but I also just think that there's a lot of narcissism involved. Like,
Yeah.
I think that the algorithm makes you just so fucking narcissistic because you are literally being brainwashed to think that the world does, in fact, revolve around you. So to encounter people on a show that you're supposed to relate to and they're doing things that you think are like out of the box, it's like there doesn't always have to be a good and a bad. Like, sometimes people in movies and TV shows are just existing and doing shit, and it's not meant for you to decide whether they're a good or bad. Because that's another thing I notice a lot with people being like, I thought that I would like her, but I don't. Like, I'm done with her. And it's like, what? You know what I mean? Like, there doesn't have to be like an immediate villain and a good person throughout the entire thing. It's okay.
A huge part of the show when it was on was not liking Carrie at moments and not liking the choices that she made. The whole thing of Big or Aiden.
Right.
People hated that she kept going back to Big.
Exactly.
Oh, why does she keep doing this? Oh my God, she had the perfect guy, blah, 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 blah. Like, that was a part of the show, is not liking her at times and feeling the way her friends felt, which was frustration. People don't like to feel anything that is completely positive anymore because they're constantly being shown things that is tailored to them exactly. So now people are not used to uncomfortable feelings, I think.
Oh, you basically hit the nail on the head. People don't like uncomfortable feelings anymore. They want to immediately be done with it. And I will leave it at this. This is like, I guess this is how I will, my final statement on Sex and the City. I honestly believe in my entire spirit that, and this is not an original thought, like I'm not the first person to say this, Carrie Bradshaw is TV's first female antihero. She is.
Yes.
She is, you have to understand, for the time she was being, it's her and Tony Soprano. Two anti-heroes. And it just so happens that one of them is hyper feminine, walks on her tiptoes and heels, zhuzhes her hair. You know what I mean? So it's so hard for people to see her that way. Whereas Tony Soprano is like literally raping women, like murdering people, killing his friends, doing some of the most rotten, horrendous shit on television, but people worship him. People love Tony Soprano and hold him up to such a high esteem. Whereas like with Carrie, and they also associate James Gandolfini with Tony Soprano. And they love him because of it. Whereas with Carrie, they associate her with Carrie Bradshaw and hate her because of it. And it's like, can a woman be complicated?
Thank you. I mean, my God, Walter White does not get the hell that Carrie Bradshaw gets.
Because she spent too much money on shoes. And you're acting like she's this crazy psychopath that you just can't relate to while you're sitting in some pair of shoes that you bought off TikTok that you can't afford. It's like so fucking hypocritical.
To everybody out there going on and on about how Carrie Bradshaw is problematic, at least that bitch isn't out there shopping on Shein, okay?
Hello?
Maybe meditate on that for a bit. Children.
Little girl, to quote Mary Cosby.
Little girl.
Should we, before this turns into a rebranded Sex and the City podcast, should we move on to Cher? So this article is titled The Cher Experience. Well, Cher, the experience. Hello. And it's interesting because it's about like, it's funny to read this and I guess Believe had either just come out or it was about to come out. Like, I think it was like a very new single.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of talking about like, can she do it? Like, because this is, you think about 1999, like, this is a transitional period for like the divas, people like Madonna and Cher and Whitney. Like, they are transitioning into this, like, into the millennium with all of these pop kids, and you have Britney and Christina and NSYNC, and it's like, what are the dolls supposed to do? And they're wondering if Cher can like sustain, not knowing that Believe is like basically going to be one of the biggest bookmarks of her entire career.
Well, and I love that in this interview, she actually names it right before it happens for her. So the interviewer says, "Now that you're back on top, do you feel that you have finally proven yourself, or do you think you are destined to remain on a professional roller coaster?" And she says, "I keep hoping I'm going to catch that Frank Sinatra wave and never have to prove myself again. You know, that one big wave Sinatra hit, and then he was Sinatra forever and ever." She hit that wave. She's Cher. She doesn't have to prove herself anymore. She's Cher.
Yeah, I did really love that quote.
Me too.
That was really good. I was like, oh, that hit. Like, I completely understand what she's saying.
I love this whole interview. This is a really, really great interview.
It was. And again, like, I know it's the literal theme of our podcast, but like, even more so when you talk about nuanced magazines like TV Guide, like, it's crazy that such a revealing, intimate interview with Cher during such a pivotal moment of her life is just kind of like lost in a random TV Guide issue from 99 that nobody ever is going to open again.
She really says whatever she wants, and you know, you get some really great tidbits. How did you feel about Cher, like, back during this time? Were you getting into, because they kind of mention it also. It says, "Not only is she attracting Gen X club kids who made her recent single Believe the biggest hit of her 35-year career, and senior citizens who once spooned to the tune of I Got You, Babe, but she's also luring an astounding number of tykes who adored the recent reruns of the Sonny and Cher comedy hour on TV Land." Around this time, we were tykes. Let's just say we were tykes.
Yeah.
Were you getting into Cher at this point, or what was your vibe?
I was like very, very aware of Cher at this point because of my family, like my grandmother and my mom. My introduction to Cher, actually, and I've talked about this before, but I grew up in like a crazy like aerobics family. Like, my grandmother is like Dorinda. Yeah, like my grandma literally looks maybe 50 years old. Like, it's crazy. And she was always really hyper fixated on like new workout trends, celebrity workouts. Like, we had an entire catalog of celebrity workout tapes. Like, Sheena Easton abs and Cher, and I mean, it was like crazy. But Cher's fitness was like major
Yeah.
in my house. Like it was huge. So I knew Cher as a baby from watching Cher Fitness. That's how I was introduced to her.
Oh my God, Troy, that is the best Cher origin story I could have possibly imagined.
And honestly, her workout tapes are so entertaining. They're on YouTube in full. And it's just like they're so candid and raw, and her like doing weird shit, like telling the girls not to talk so she can sing while she works out, and like throwing little jabs at people. They're great.
Well, and that's also a really great thing to point out, as you know, in this article, it's the time where she's going back up to that peak. But prior to that, it was like, yeah, she was doing workout tapes because she had to. She was doing, what were they, like shampoo infomercials or something? Because she had to. Like, she hit a real slump for a while. So this was a huge comeback. But oh my God, Troy, I'm just picturing you. Little boy.
If you're wondering,
Oh.
yeah, I did them. Yes, I did those workouts. Sure. I will also say, I feel like, and you can vouch for this, I feel like when we were younger, because we weren't using the internet the way we use it now, there was like, how do I say this? Like, we had shows and stuff, like I love the 90s and I love the 80s, and there was like an emphasis on like teaching us about, hi. Is he doing like man work?
You know, he's always bopping around doing man work.
It was very Dan Connor of him.
Oh, honey.
But there was an emphasis on like the past. Like, I feel like we learned a lot. Like, I knew the Sonny and Cher show. I knew all of that stuff just from like VH1.
And I'm so glad there's another article that we get to touch on later to really gush about that.
Hello.
But you are so right. That there, and I feel like you would think that there would be even more of that culture today because we have so much access through YouTube to old things, but because it's just so random what the algorithms,
it's like too much access.
It's too much, and like there's no funnel system of like, here's the really important things that like as a society you should know.
How did you get introduced to, or what was your Cher vibe like around the time that Believe came out, when like kids were like, she's cool?
Similar to you, like I always just like knew Cher. Cher was just always, I came out of the womb and it was like, this is a world with Cher in it. The two big like quote like lullabies that I had in my life were Close to You by the Carpenters when I was a baby. And then when I was like a toddler and could talk and stuff, my mom would sing I Got You Babe together.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And my mom's just a huge Cher head. So yeah, like Sonny and Cher show, her music, like I was obsessed with her from go. I will say, in the grand scheme, Cher's my number one diva.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Yes.
that's really cool.
She's my number one.
That's like do you have like a favorite Cher like decade?
I really love this sort of Sonny and Cher show era. I love that music. I love singing along to it. The clothes are just truly, it's who I am in my soul.
Yeah.
Like her jumpsuits, like if I could dress every day like that, I would. But then, of course, this era of Cher is huge for me because this was more, I was experiencing it concurrently with as it was happening.
And like experiencing it yourself, like because you want to hear it, not because it's like your mom is like playing it or something.
Exactly. I mean, I remember third grade talent show. Some girls sang Believe for the talent show.
I'm obsessed.
And everyone was like, hell yeah. No one thought, oh, lame. It was everybody jiving in the aisles.
Wow. I mean, yeah, you really can't. It's hard to like really put into words what it felt like when that song came out. It's one of those moments beyond a song being a hit where it just becomes so threaded into like the culture.
Mm-hmm.
And like knowing the lyrics was like a fun thing. Like it was one of those songs where it was like fun to sing it. When it came on, everybody would sing it. And It's still like that. I mean, you go to a gay bar or like a club, and if Believe comes on, literally everybody is singing it. Even if they aren't at the beginning, by the time it gets to the bridge, we are all completely disassociated, floating off the ground, eyes rolled back, like we're gone.
Oh, it's just such an undeniable song.
It is.
It really is.
And like when this random time in her life that it came out is just so, for her to have gotten like one of the biggest second wins at this random era in her life where people are wondering like, what do we even do with these women now? Like, what do we do with women like Cher and Madonna in 1999? What are we supposed to do with them? And they all kind of just, I mean, not even just Cher, like they all hit their second wind.
Yeah, they all reinvented themselves in a way that was, it's just so cool because they reinvented themselves to be relevant for the time period, but they were so much older than like their peers who were doing that sort of stuff. And it's just really, it's a really cool example of, I don't know, just like older women doing it for themselves and keeping up with the culture, not having to, I don't know, it's inspiring. You don't have to be like, well, I'm older now. I can't compete with people younger than me. Like, it's too late. I can't have fun. I can't be a new type of person. I can't try different kinds of art or ways of dressing. It's like, no, you can.
Yeah, and like not only can you like reinvent yourself, you can like take the culture and grab it by the balls. Like Cher grabbed pop music at that point literally by the balls and said this and dragged us and said this is the direction that we're going. And I know I said it at the beginning, but I feel like it's like you can't emphasize enough like the impact that Believe had on popular music for the next however many years, like way more than the decade. Like she just kind of decided autotune is in. And I also think like the novelty, because we had never heard autotune used like that, just was so, our ears were just like orgasming.
It was so fun to sing along to and sort of do the voice. I feel like it really, you know, the mouthfeel was good. And yeah, it became a full sensory experience.
It's so true. The mouthfeel of and like slowly when people scream, what I love about when that song comes on at a bar and everybody's singing it is that people slowly slip into their Cher voice. And by the time you're at the end of the song where you're like doing like I don't need him anymore, like you're gone. You are literally like, it's not you anymore. You're a drag queen.
You are. God, my big shtick back in high school was singing "If I Could Turn Back Time" in my Cher voice.
The amount of money that I would pay to watch you sing that with like real earnest behavior, like I would give anything.
Also that video.
Oh, the video. Okay, let's talk about the video for a second, because one thing that I'm obsessed with, and I've done full Dunzo episodes about this, is the difference between a MTV and a VH1 artist or song.
Absolutely.
Now, Believe was a VH1 song.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Which is fascinating because at that time, it's like, to give a younger person like an example, like an example of an MTV song is like Slave for You or, you know, Bye Bye Bye. You know, that's an MTV song.
Yes.
Dirty. A VH1 song is Shania Twain. It's Faith Hill. It's Cher. It's Celine Dion. It's Janet. It's also, I mean, it doesn't have to purely skew pop, girly pop. It's also like Aerosmith, like Faith Hill, like new Aerosmith, things like that. Yes, new Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes,
like Californication was VH1.
It was honestly skewing for the most part towards like Gen X.
It was like we used to have this thing that we called alternative.
Yes.
And it just like meant whatever.
It was like, we don't know what to do, but
like it was like if you don't know where to place it, it's alternative. But VH1 leaned into alternative artists, if you will. And this was a huge VH1 specific kind of song.
Yeah.
And even though the song was like taking over the globe, you wouldn't see it on MTV, like, but you would see it on VH1 all
the time.
day and all night.
I never thought about this before, but I do think that's partially why it ended up really hitting with the younger audience because I mean, sure that I think the song just is great for anyone with ears, but it was specifically hitting with a younger audience because kids who weren't allowed to watch MTV usually were allowed to watch VH1.
Yeah.
And they were often watching it with their parents. So I think a lot of younger kids were being exposed to it.
I 1000% agree. And I think that music was like, it was just as popular, but just in such a different way. Like, we all were listening to Shania Twain, you know?
Yes.
Even though she wasn't, it's just funny. Like, there are certain artists that MTV wouldn't necessarily acknowledge. Like Shania Twain would never be on the TRL countdown. She would never.
Even
she's
if
not
the song was huge, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, like Man, I Feel Like a Woman was never on MTV.
Well,
really.
I think it's because essentially MTV never wanted to be showcasing music that your parents might like.
Yeah.
Even if it's just Universal, they're not going to give airtime to Universal music.
It's young, fresh, you know, Neutrogena ad, Clearasil ad, beautiful people. It's true. And then obviously they had their exceptions. They had people, you know, like Limp Bizkit and stuff, like bands, but even still they still skewed MTV.
Yeah.
You know? But it's just interesting, like a song like this could be having like this world dominating moment, and MTV's like,
nope, sorry.
Just like
that's
whistling.
An old lady.
Yeah. Does she show her belly?
No. Well,
we don't need it.
Actually, I feel like at the time she probably was still.
Yeah, I know.
Because they do say, this line jumped out at me. In contrast to her bigger-than-life persona, she is a mere slip of a thing, so thin, small-boned, and delicate. You fear she might snap when you shake her hand.
Oh, my God. Oh, I hate knowing that I'll never be described as a thin little wispy thing.
A slip of a girl.
Like, I want people to be afraid to shake my hand. I want them to think they'll rip it off.
Oh, Troy, when you introduce me to people or talk about me behind my back, can you be like, oh, Tara, she's a little slip of a thing.
Careful hugging her. She's a little slip of a thing. She'll break.
Those bones, they're hollow.
Yeah. You're just like a Precious Moments figurine being hugged.
Now put her back in her commemorative case.
I think that was enough for the day.
Good night, Papa. Thank you for taking me out.
You're like cracked and bending. I will also say there's an emphasis. One thing about Cher that I've always found really interesting is like her emphasis on like never partying really. Like she's never really been that girl like Bette Midler.
Yeah.
You know, she didn't have a phase of like being a cokehead. She was always very adamant that like, yeah, she partied and dabbled, but she was never like a drug addict really.
No.
And they ask her, so many rock stars who came to prominence when you did in the 60s and 70s have died prematurely. Did you ever worry about that too? That you would become a casualty? And she said, never even thought about it. Mostly because I never did drugs, but it's mostly a guy thing. Women are able to take stress so much better than men. Men's egos are so fragile. They just get lost somehow. If all you seek is fame, money, and sex, and then you become famous, have all the money you want and the women are throwing themselves at you, then what's left? You need more highs. You start doing drugs. And then you're pretty much screwed. Women are more grounded. I fucking love this woman.
I love her so much. You know, there's her quote, "Mama, I am a rich man."
Mm-hmm.
But Cher is full of those great sound bites.
And she'll never pass up an opportunity to remind you how much she hates men. And I
love it. I love it so, so much.
Yeah, this has inspired me to blow the dust off some old Cher tapes.
Also, it inspires me to get her memoir, which I've been meaning to do, but now I'm like, oh my God. I forgot about how cool and just raw and how she puts it out there. And that thing is so long that I think it's going to deliver the goods.
Next time I see you, I would really love if we got drunk and watched Cher's fitness tapes on YouTube. Have you ever watched them?
Not on you. Like I remember them like from back in the day, but I have not like revisited them at all.
Dara,
I'm gonna save it. I'm not going to look it up. I'm waiting until you come.
Okay. And she works out in lingerie because it's like early 90s Cher. So she's like turn back time, like giant black wigs. You know, she looks great. Like it's that era where her face literally was porcelain. Like she just only moved her lips and blinked.
Yes.
And I love that. But she's in full lingerie the whole time, like full like Fredericks of Hollywood, just like lingerie that she's working out in. It's amazing.
Oh my God.
Like her vagina lips are like out, literally.
I am so excited.
Yeah,
you know
that'll
what would
be
be
fun.
so fun is to put together a workout class where people come and you throw up on a projector, like Cher workouts, Jane Fonda.
Oh my God.
That would be so fun.
That's what Dorinda should have done.
Yes.
That should have been her class.
But she could never share the stage with Cher.
Yeah.
She'd be like, no. This is about me. You're coming for Dorinda.
It's so true. She's in a full fight with a projection of Cher from 1901. Like,
Now, I will say, this is a great idea and we should do it.
yeah, like that is so fun. Because honestly, a lot of those old like aerobic celebrity workouts are like great.
Yeah.
Like they're very effective.
Did you ever do Sweat into the Oldies?
Not like as a workout, but I would like watch it.
That was the big workout in my household. Me and my mom, I'm like literally in kindergarten. Sweat into the Oldies with her.
Wah, Richard.
Are there any other things we want to touch on in this article?
No, I'm good to move on.
One little soundbite in this article. Soundbite? Is that what? Excerpt? This article that I love is when she starts talking about her mom. And she's just like absolutely ripping her.
That I can't believe I forgot to bring that up. It made me laugh so hard.
I literally, real sound came out of my mouth.
She's like, she's full of shit. All she does is say crazy shit. But every once in a while, something smart comes out of her mouth. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, I love it. I love her. I love that woman.
So we move on to page 20. This is a very small article titled Teen Genie.
Oh my God, I just realized years later, Cher and Christina.
Hello.
Let me show you how to burlesque,
Wow.
baby.
One page apart. Wow.
TV Guide manifested it.
Predicting homosexual culture. Yeah, this is Christina Aguilera, who's very newly famous. Newly famous enough that, you know, there's like a period, I'd say, for the first at least, 3 years, where all of these teen artists, like, their whole first half of any interview that they do is about Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's in print, on TV, it could be Access Hollywood, Entertainment Tonight, Rolling Stone. The first part of it is like their origin story, how they got to Mickey Mouse Club, the fact that they were on it with Carrie Russell and Ryan Gosling. Like we've heard it literally thousands of times. But I do think it's important to note, especially with the photo that they chose for Christina Aguilera, that this is when Christina was being marketed as, are you ready for this?
Give it to me.
The Arabian pop diva. That was the thing that differentiated her from Britney, was that her album was Arabian themed. So they'd make her do all these weird poses, and there always had to be some mention of rubbing her belly, getting a wish. Like, yeah.
Do you think part of the idea came from like Nick at Night, and kids were watching Nick at Night and stuff, and it was like I Dream of Jeannie coded?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I don't know.
I didn't think about that. I will say I don't think that they
No, I
even
don't think so
went that
either,
far.
but
I think they were like, we mentioned the word genie in your song.
wait, but I
and-
will say this, Troy.
Okay.
There was a time around this time where the I Dream of Jeannie Halloween costume for kids was huge. I remember I wore it and I had a few gal pals and we all had this, like, we ended up like showing up to trick-or-treating in the same costume.
Honestly, I think that there's weight to the Nick at Night of it all.
Yeah,
Because we all were watching that and I Love Lucy and like all those shows.
absolutely. And it was the only thing you could watch after a certain hour, which is why our generation, I think, knows so much more about old TV shows, whereas younger people don't.
Right. Like we were watching shows from the 30s
Yeah.
as kids. Yeah, for sure. And I also just think it's so funny, like the way that our brains were we were so simple, like such simpletons, if you will.
Yeah.
They're like Arabian. Put jewels on her stomach. Arabian. Like it's so like it's like the limited 2 version of Arabian. Put gems on her and tell her to do Bollywood hand signs. She doesn't know what she's doing.
When did Aladdin come out?
The cartoon?
Yes.
Hello. What the hell else? What else?
The film.
The film? Oh. I don't know. I think mid-90s?
I wonder. Sorry, I'm like getting way too like string theory conspiracies over here.
No, I really genuinely think they were like, we need to pivot. I think that when Christina came out, she was supposed to be adult contemporary. She was supposed to be a VH1 artist.
Yes.
That's why her first song was I Turn to You. And
Which is so
right?
shocking.
Yeah, it's insane. Like even when you look at the video, they were like trying to make her like Jewel or Leanne Rimes or something. And then Britney happened and they were like, we have to course correct. We say Genie in that song that she's putting out. Let's just lean into that because Britney can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so it's like very dark, honestly.
It was weird. And I'm glad you brought it up because it is a sort of forgotten part, I feel like, of her legacy. Not that she would want this as her, but that was just such a weird moment in time.
Oh, it's completely forgotten. And now it's been repurposed as Y2K. All it takes those times. Because that's all people fucking know. But there's nuance there. And yeah, it's a completely overlooked. It's almost as if it didn't happen.
Yeah.
This whole weird moment for her. It's like, and maybe because it wasn't written about as much as, you know, say Britney's Rag to Riches story. Like Christina's wasn't. Britney had that good Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
Rags to Riches, whereas Christina's was a little more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A little rougher around the edges.
Well, you know, she was never put forth as a Christian girl next door. She came from a single mother. You couldn't write that sort of like heartwarming comeuppance for Christina the way you could fabricate it for Britney.
Right, like they literally ran from her dad.
Yeah.
Like threw their shit in a car and like escaped, like in the movie Enough. You're right, it can't be romanticized.
No. They do mention her mom, Shelley. I love Shelley. I do. And I also love that they mention her and she is the president of her fan club. And it's like, yes, that is the only thing a parent should be in charge of in their child's career.
Yes. It's so true.
It's called
That's the furthest
boundaries,
you should go as a momager.
Okay.
Yeah. That's such a good point. Oh my God. I didn't even think about that. But that was a big deal. I mean, celebrity fan clubs at the time were like kind of written about a lot. Like they were taken kind of seriously. And that was a big deal that her mom was like, because then people knew, like her fans were like, I'm writing this to her mom so that her mom can relay the message, you know, that I'm her #1 fan.
Yeah. Fan clubs, I mean, not even just at this point, but fan clubs were such a huge thing that I feel like we forget about. I feel like all these old shows, there would always be a plot line where it's like, so-and-so wrote into this celebrity's fan club.
Did you write to fan clubs?
No.
No? You never sent anything?
I don't think so. I mean, Maybe, but I don't really remember being much of a fan club queen.
I wish I could. I'm like, yeah, me too. I'm
Yeah,
sweating.
that's so lame. It's like, you don't even know him. Why would you write to him?
I have a bag of letters to send out today. Yeah, my friend Desiree and I, she was like my best friend, and we would, because in the old teen magazines, they would list like all of the fan
Yes.
clubs. Like they'd be like, there was like a page for it, like Aaron Carter, Nick Carter, Brittany, Christina, and like it had their PO boxes and
Mhm.
stuff. And we would spend the day, start at the top, you go all the way down. We would write like 40 letters
Wow.
and mail them out. Yeah.
I feel like there was a couple times I thought, oh, I'm gonna write a letter to someone, and I'd write it, and then my ADHD would just take hold, and it would just sit in that envelope. It's like, I gotta get a
Yeah.
stamp. I gotta ask my mother for a
Yeah.
stamp, and she's gonna be like, why do you need a stamp? Those aren't free.
You're like, I forgot to send my letter to Tori Amos. Fuck.
Oh my God, how will she know that I'm her #1 fan?
I hope Alanis gets it before tour. I don't know if you've ever read it. I don't know why you would have, or if you remember it, but there's a really good interview with Christina Aguilera. It's her first ever Rolling Stone. It's the one where she's holding that CD case
Oh, yeah.
and like she's got like denim shorts on that are like rolled down.
Yes.
I think her shirt says Supergirl. And that is a very revealing article. It's like a day with a new pop diva and like what the person experiences being in her orbit as like a new princess.
Oh. I don't know that
It's-
I have ever read that one.
Oh my God, Dora, I'll send it. Is, or maybe we can just do it for the
Oh,
show.
we should.
It is so good. There's a part in it where she talks about like, first of all, the person writing it, they talk about going to TRL with her and just how jarring and scary of an experience that is as like an actual adult.
Yeah.
Just like the screaming and it never stops, and like them having to be on because they never stop filming TRL. Like it's just filming the minute they get there, like a reality show.
Oh, yeah.
So they're like filming them backstage and filming them get dressed and shit. Like it's crazy. And as Christina's walking through the audience, there's kids being like, Christina, I love you. Brittany's such a bitch. Brittany's fake. And she's like, aw, thank you. And then one girl goes, Christina, the reason I connect with you instead of Brittany is because she's fake and you're real. She has implants. And she's like, aw, I love you. She like totally like, so Christina.
Oh, I love that little bitch. I really do.
I know. And they talk about her going to a strip club with Carson the night before.
Okay, maybe I
And-
have read this. I'm sure.
You remember?
Yes. Yeah.
And they're like, why did you go to a strip club? And why were you out at night with Carson daily? Hey, that's not the behavior of a princess.
Oh, I don't like that.
But yeah, nothing really crazy. I just wanted to talk about Arabian Christina. Look at that pose.
I mean, I will say it's a little bit adorable.
She looks so cute.
She looks cutie patootie.
And it's like literally this must have been the week Capri's came back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Capris.
Oh my God, we were in a Capri
Chokehold.
haze. Yeah, foot on our necks.
Okay.
Okay.
My mom would call them high waters.
Oh
Dara,
yes.
where's your high waters? Where's your high waters, Dara?
Tara? So on the following page, and this was my favorite moment of this entire magazine. I'm sure you're not surprised. This article is titled "Rockin' on VH1's Behind the Music, Pop's Biggest Reveal. Stars tell all about their wild days and dark nights."
Gorgeous.
And yeah, this is like an article about the new VH1 Behind the Music. And I honestly, I know that like I talk about VH1 Behind the Music every once in a while. It pops up. But the impact that show had on me musically, I don't think I really thought about it until I was like reading through this. And at the bottom, they have like a little list of like highs and lows and different episodes that they've covered, TLC and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I know who Leif Garrett is because of VH1 Behind the Music.
Troy, no fucking joke. When I got to that article, I was like, oh my God, yes. And the first name that just jumped into my head, because it's so synonymous to me with Behind the Music, was Leif Garrettson. I was like, his name just popped into my brain. And then you scroll down and it picks out the 6 big episodes. And the first one's Leif. And I'm like, my God.
His beautiful face.
Oh, for whatever reason, I feel like his story was such a huge cornerstone of VH1.
Oh, it was. It was him, Danny Bonaducci. Yep. There was like this small handful of like also Corey Haim. These like at the time, for whatever reason, we loved romanticizing the pitfalls of child stardom, of fame.
Yeah.
It was like fun to talk about it and like to be like, and all of it is because they just couldn't handle the pressure. Like we weren't having the real conversation, but they loved to get down to the nitty gritty of like their addiction and all that stuff. And that's the other thing I was thinking about, like the way that I view Hollywood, the way that I view celebrity addiction, the way that I view child stardom. So much of that is because of Behind the Music.
Absolutely. Well, I would say Behind the Music and also True Hollywood Story.
Yes. I feel like they're sisters.
Oh, they're sisters in Christ.
Yeah.
Just like us.
Do you? Yeah. Do you have a favorite or favorite episodes of Behind the Music? Ones that you just feel like really impacted on you?
Well, I feel like, God, in this part where they name the 6, like the high 6, I remember each one of those so vividly. And I do think that The Carpenters was one of the biggest ones for me.
Yeah.
Because number one, like I said earlier, that Close to You was like my baby lullaby. And my mom was obsessed with The Carpenters. And that story was so, I don't know, like haunting to me. Especially because I thought Karen was so cool as this drummer. And it was like, girls, drum?
Right. And to be like a prodigy, like a drummer prodigy.
And then to die of anorexia, which was so shocking to me and such a, I don't know, such a haunting way to go, that I feel like that one really stuck out to me.
Which also had anorexia and bulimia, all eating disorders had they were also like romanticized 90s trauma.
Yes.
Like we loved talking about eating disorders. We loved talking about women that had them. We loved staring at them and analyzing their bodies. And God forbid, like a woman admit that she had one. Like eating disorders and like sexual assault.
Yes.
Like we were just ravenous for that trauma. Like Fiona Apple.
Oh, yeah. I will also say the Selena one, of course, was a huge one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was a morbid child. Anyone where they died an untimely death, I was like, all right, yeah, let's saddle up for this.
Those are the ones that would really fuck you up,
yeah.
Though. I mean, yeah, Selena especially, like, I didn't have the context of Selena. I didn't grow up even in a state where Selena was talked about. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like we lived in Texas where you grow up being surrounded. It's like I didn't know anything about Selena as a kid. And to learn about her life through this show fucked me up bad.
Also, another big one that I'm sure it was a Behind the Music, but I think it was also a part of like those specials that they would do of like the saddest, like untimely deaths in music or blah, 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 blah. And Marvin Gaye was a big one where his father kills him.
Yeah.
That was a big one that stuck out to me. I don't know. What were your favorites?
Well, Fleetwood Mac was a huge one.
Oh, yeah.
Being young and like learning about all of that stuff. And like at the time, like as a kid, I was like so obsessed with No Doubt.
Oh my God, that one. Oh,
and I remember being like,
Troy, yes. The
Hello?
No Doubt one.
The No Doubt of it told.
Oh, the Tony of it. Oh my God.
Yes. And I remember as a kid being like, oh my God, No Doubt is my Fleetwood Mac. Like You know what I mean? Like the lore of the band and them singing together and her writing songs about him. And but I think to me, the definitive behind the music is TLC.
Oh, yeah.
I think that TLC episode, I mean, that was already a very popular show, but that TLC thing skyrocketed the importance of that show and what it meant to an artist's career. The way that they explained being broke on that show rewired my brain.
Boy, I know exactly the moment you're talking about. Yes.
I didn't even know. I was like, in my mind, any famous person was wealthy.
Oh, yeah.
All of them. They were all millionaires. They could afford the money grow on trees. They could have 8 cars, 7 mansions. To hear Left Eye actually break down how the music industry steals your money, how they trick you, how you sign these slave contracts, how you can have, because remember there's the moment where she's like, I'm sure you're wondering how you can have, you know, an album that sells however many million records and you can't afford to like buy a car.
Yeah.
You know, like and I also remember just like the aftermath, like the chatter, like all the adults around me talking about it. I remember hearing people at school because fan mail was so major.
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, it was like our first CD. So like watching that and then going to school and talking about it, that was just like huge for me.
God, the water cooler culture of middle school.
I know. And then also too, like, you know, the whole like Left Eye, like lighting her boyfriend's house on fire and stuff. Like that was so
that.
Oh my God, I was like, I feel so blessed to be able to see this.
God, I want a box set of all of the behind the musics.
I know.
I feel like they're not super easy to get your hands on, a lot of them, because I've used them for for different episodes of Les Deux where I've used little snippets, but they're kind of hard to come by sometimes.
I wonder, I've thought about this a lot. I wonder if it has to do with like licensing.
Yep. Yeah. 100%.
Like every episode has so much music.
Well, and I'm sure also for E! True Hollywood Story, that's also kind of tough to come by. I'm sure it's a similar thing, but like licensing clips of movies and TV shows and things like that.
It is a disservice, though. I think it's a huge missed opportunity that it's not on streaming and that you can't just watch any and I know they tried to bring it back, remember?
Yes.
They tried to like reintroduce it, but it didn't last.
I really miss this part of the culture, like when we were growing up, where it was just at any moment you could turn on the TV and there was either a behind the music or I love the 90s, just any, like all of these sort of educational behind the scenes looks, or I'd even put in like Maid, Diary, any of those sorts of things. I really miss those.
See, to me, like, I think it's harder. I've gone on this tangent before, but I do think it's harder to create legends and to create icons without content like that. Like, we view our artists of that time, people like Britney and NSYNC and stuff. Like, Britney is a legend because MTV made her one. And these networks used to put artists on like this pedestal, and learning about their lore was so interesting. Like, being able to see them make art was so cool. Like, Diary was so fucking cool. And like, it's, you know, you connect to an album so much more when you see something like Diary and you see them making it. Like, it's just so special, you know?
Yeah, before it used to be the music industry and MTV and all those entities creating a star, but now it's the algorithm. The algorithm is telling you it doesn't even have to tell you to like it. It just shows it to you, and it's like, this is the only thing you're going to see until you're knuckled into liking it. Which, yeah, you're not going to ever connect with it that deeply, because also they want to, it's a higher turnover. It's not about like creating a forever icon. It's about keeping people entertained for like a certain amount of time and then the turnover to the next thing.
Yeah, it's like the difference between a good hearty meal and like a bag of chips.
Mhm.
And now it's chips. It's like, yeah, eat it, finish it, move on to another bag. It doesn't matter.
Empty calories.
It's not. Yeah, empty calories, and it doesn't matter to us. It's cheap. It's easy. It took us 5 minutes to write the album. Sure, AI did all the
Yep.
work, and if you don't like it, we'll just throw another one at your face until you know, like, there's just not a lot of like world building for these artists.
World
now.
building, yes.
You know, and there's no world building on being on fucking Instagram Live. It's not the same thing. And the thing about it that pisses me off is that there's no shortage of people who would want that. Like, they don't know that they want it, but I'm telling you, a 21-year-old who adores Billie Eilish or loves Ariana Grande would love to see them in an episode of Diary, would love to see them on Behind the Music or making the video or something like that.
They absolutely would, because you go on YouTube, what's one of the most popular things to watch are deep dives.
No, it's true. There's like such a reliance on like the fans to make their own lore and their own world building about the artist. Whereas before it was like, I don't know, it just feels so empty. Like there's just so much room for like more art. And I don't know. I wish I could sit down with the people like at the boardroom of like MTV, for example, and be like, what are you thinking? And I'm not trying to read you down. I just want to know what's going on. Like, what's the thought process? And why are you putting all of your eggs in one basket titled ridiculousness? What is that? Like, is that your favorite show you guys have ever made? Ridiculousness?
I guess it's just truly trying to make things as cheaply as possible. And it's like, it's no longer about creating a brand and, I don't know, having a sense of fun with it. Taking pride in it. Taking pride in like, this is MTV. This is what we stand for. These are the things we're going to show and we're not going to show. Like these are the artists we stand behind. This is the legacy that we want to have. It's just like money.
It's funny that you say that because there is a little section of this article that I think is very interesting where they say, as it happens, there's a more immediately tangible incentive for an artist to dish on a show like Behind the Music, the chance to kick up album sales. The week after the premiere of Madonna's episode, her latest album, Ray of Light, jumped 25 spots on the charts. But like, the incentive is there.
Yeah.
Like, it would be so great to have shows like this on TV again or on streaming. Like, put it on fucking Hulu or something.
And also, I will say, I feel like we've seen such a resurgence in sort of low budget documentaries on streaming services.
Oh my God.
Ones that I often look at and go, seriously, this is very low quality. And it's being touted as like under the HBO label, under Max, things like that. And I'm always surprised by that. But it's like, okay, like let's do something like this and just have deep dives, essentially well-made deep dives where you get to talk to the subject.
There's just such a disconnect between the audience and the people making stuff. Like, they're all idiots and they don't know what we're watching and their algorithms are Facebook and they just don't know what we are watching. They don't know that we love pop culture analysis videos and that like there are young people making entire careers doing analysis videos because we don't have anybody else to make it. There's nobody on actual TV making shows like this anymore. So like there's like kids from Nebraska being like, this is the definitive timeline of Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton's feud. And it's like completely wrong. Dates are fucked up. They're missing a bunch of shit.
And
like,
they're missing the
painful
context of it because they weren't sentient when things happened. Like there is a huge part of all of this where it's understanding the context of when certain things happened and what the rest of the culture looked like.
Right. And how opinions, the way we view somebody changes over time. But like the way that we view them at this exact moment is not the end all be all. Like the way we view Paris Hilton right now does not define how we viewed her for the past 20 years. But they don't get it.
But all of this is to say someone should give us a TV show.
Or let us control a network.
Or that. We're not asking for a lot
just
here.
give us MTV. Could you imagine if we had control over MTV, how fucking lit it would be? Can you imagine what the VMAs would look like? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my Lord.
I want someone to at least give us an I Love the 2000s show. Okay?
Yeah.
It can just be on YouTube. It's fine.
Yes. And we'll make sense of all this stuff that has been misinterpreted. Yeah. We weren't all just walking around with pink razor flip phones and trying to dress like Paris Hilton.
I mean, there's so much more to you think you know, but you have no idea.
But you have no idea. Well, this was extremely fun. Who would have thought TV Guide would be such a fucking moment? But it was fun.
That was a banger. Justice for TV Guide. I'm glad we gave it the send-up it deserved.
Yeah, it definitely deserves a moment to be remembered for like literally being so culturally relevant up until we didn't need it. And then we were like, bye. But yeah, thank you guys for listening to this very detailed, long episode. We really were on one today.
We were on one, and I don't know. I just had a great time.
Me too. This was so fun. And now I've got a hankering to watch VH1's Behind the Music. So I might watch some YouTubes of that now.
Me too. Me too. I'm going to report back with all of my faves.
You're like, actually, the thing about Leaf. But thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to listen to our super, super long episodes, our bonus episodes, and look at these magazines that we discuss, head on over to Patreon, because that's where we do all of our best work.
Say hello to us behind the paywall.
You think you know, but you have no idea unless you're on Patreon. But yeah, we love you very much.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
Love music?
We do too.
Well, if you ever feel like it's hard to keep up, though, don't worry. We're here to help.
Monday through Friday, Daily Music Headlines gets you the top happenings in music, from chart toppers, news releases, concert announcements, and more.
All in less than 5 minutes.
Don't miss out. Get the show at dailymusicheadlines.com.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.